Hello my DGens and welcome back to your boy. Ever since the King's release, there's been this narrative that Caesar is a quote-unquote must pull. And even in my own video, I was saying something like she is the closest thing to a must pull. And so her release has sparked a lot of discussion about who's a must pull, what makes a character must pull, are generalist supports the highest value because they can go into any team. And so today, let's talk about this concept of must pull. So let me begin by addressing something first, because I need to be very clear. This is what I actually said. Out of all of the characters released so far, limited and permanent, she is the character that is closest to what I would call an actual must pull. Here's the character that is closest to what I would call must pull. I am not calling Caesar a must pull. But the reality is that if I had to choose one character out of all of the characters that have been released so far, Caesar would be the one that represents the highest amount of value by far. She absolutely has the highest staying power. She has the highest resistance to power creep, which is very real, by the way, because I saw another YouTuber say that power creep doesn't exist and it can't hurt you or something. But that's a react video for another day. And here's the other thing, right? If I scroll down to the comments, there is a really long comment chain. And what bro is saying is that it's way too early to call any character a must pull. Sorry, but it's true. People called Silver Wolf a must pull, and now she's a waste of jades. And so for those of you who don't play or haven't played Star Rail, Silver Wolf is a character who can implant a weakness into the enemy. And so for example, if Silver Wolf was in Zenless, then she'd be able to force a fire weakness into this physical weak Jane, or she'd be able to force an electric weakness, something like that. And so of course, when you think about something like that, being able to force a weakness, people would say that this character, Silver Wolf, is a must pull. Let me show you what I said 1 year ago. However, the reality is that as we are able to build more and more characters to match the weaknesses in MOC, Silver Wolf's value, especially to veteran players, is going to actually drop. I think that she'll still be very relevant, especially with all of her debuffs, defense down, her ability to force the mono quantum team everywhere, but probably less of a must pull, maybe even down here. And for context, this is where she sits now. So T0, T0.5, T1, T1.5. She is getting outclassed by a whole another 6-8 characters. And so I'm showing you all of this because I want you to trust me a little bit, right? I'm not going to call anyone or anything a must pull unless I really think that they are giga busted. And so all of that being said, let's go back to Caesar herself. The reason why I rate Caesar so highly is because of A, her 1000 attack buff, which doesn't need to scale aside from just leveling it up, B, the plus 25% damage taken, and C, the anti-interrupt. And so starting off with the first one, 1000 attack buff, you'd have to make a character that might give 1.2 or 1.3k attack instead, or maybe an equivalent amount of crit rate or crit damage, right? And the same thing can be said for damage taken debuff, right? Maybe up the ratios, or maybe it's defense down, stuff like that. That said though, the anti-interrupt, it is incredibly hard to power creep, because what is better than anti-interruption for 60 seconds along with a pretty decent shield, right? Maybe anti-interruption for 90 seconds and easier activation, but really that doesn't matter when it's so easy to maintain Caesar's shield already. And so it's all of that, plus her stunning capabilities, which I have not even mentioned yet. This is why she has so much freaking value, right? There is a future where a generalist support comes along and offers more, right? Maybe they offer 1.2k attack, plus 15% crit rate, another 20% defense down, or something like that. That's really fantastic. But what it comes down to is that this kit altogether for these future supports, they need to give so many offensive buffs that would make me pick them over Caesar. And remember, there's also the stun aspect as well. All right, so all of that out of the way, here's where my feelings really lie about the must pulls. Now, the only character that is really a must pull is the one that you like the most. For me, that was Ellen. I like Ellen the most, she was my must pull. I'm happy to say it again and again. That aside though, let's talk about from a more functional, from a more meta point of view. And it's that the truth lies in the middle between the waifu and the meta pick. And the reason is because we want our favorite characters to also feel great while playing. We want to be able to clear all of the content or as much as we can with our favorite characters. In the context of Zenless though, I think that you can pull for whoever you want. But actually, what's more important than pulling for meta is to actually just pull, right? My opinion is that it doesn't matter who you pull for, but you have to pull. Every single S rank so far and looking into the future has been impactful enough to enable you to clear the whole freaking game. And so take a look at this, my guys. This is my Discord, and there are a few people who have cleared the 7th node, the 7th frontier for critical node. And look at that team too. Corrin, Xingyi, and Lycoan. Lycoan is being freaking resisted, and he is still able to clear in sub 2 minutes. Only one S rank here in the form of Xingyi. He matched elements, he got that 4-star Giga DPS in Corrin, and Xingyi given her the fattest ratio in the freaking game. And looking over to team 1, we've only got Juyan, and we've got 2 of our starter characters. Right, let me go up a little bit more, and what you will see along the way is that I slander Seth because he's a bro, and then I've got another homeboy who is another Corrin enjoyer with Xingyi as well. He does have arena, but you guys can see, right? The whole team hinges really on the Xingyi over here, on the Juyan over here. And then up, you can see my Scuffed teams. We've got freaking Juyan into Colada, into Nicole. And then I've got a Grace Slave over here because I don't want to level my Seth. I guarantee you, my DGens, as long as you max them out level 60 end game with the fat discs, and you've got a Giga Juicer S rank, got the Xingyi, got the Juyan, you will be able to finish any and all content, right? Like I've even seen a few guys clearing node 7, critical node, with freaking Billy of all people. I think there is even one that has Billy, Ambi, Nicole. So yeah, the bottom line is that you're gonna be fine, you can pull for whoever you want, and you're gonna be good. That being said though, if you really do want my pull opinion, pull advice, then I do actually have some advice. And so let's say that you're starting the game today and you don't have any of these S ranks over here and you only have the Ambi, Nicole, and the Billy. So right now, at this moment, there is a Caesar banner going on. And then in 2 weeks, we can see that it is going to switch to the Burnice banner. Now, Caesar is incredible value. We've talked about it like this whole freaking video, but I would actually say from an account progression point of view, and assuming that you are kind of like indifferent towards our king, like she's not Giga waifu like or your favorite or anything, you're okay with skipping her, you should actually skip Caesar and pull for Burnice when she comes in 2 weeks time. That's actually my opinion. The reason is because the game completely changes when you have S rank damage dealers. It just becomes so much more enjoyable. And so in my opinion, if you are starting out today, you are a newbie proxy, I do absolutely think that you should prioritize for 2 S rank DPSs. But again, don't get me wrong, if you are a Giga meta gamer, then Caesar absolutely, sure, go for it. But I guarantee you, you are going to have a much more fun time playing with S rank DPSs. And look, Caesar is going to rerun. You can pick her up then. Who knows? Or maybe she's power crept by then. That's just the nature of gacha games. It is what it is. Alright, so that's pretty much all I had to say for today. Must pull characters in a nutshell. Let me know what you guys think about this whole concept of like must pull and all that. Are there parts of my opinion or like my position that you disagree with, or maybe like the whole thing? Let us know down in the comments below. But that being said, that is going to be the end of the video. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.